Okay. So I'll quickly read the Sanskrit and then one of you can read it after me. Actually, both of you can read after this. So it is Tadvidi pranipatena pariprasannena sevaya ubdekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshana. Okay, so Shohel, can you read the Sanskrit?
Tad vidya prampatima pariprasanama savaya apedesyanti din janam janas tattva dasana.
Yep. Abhishek, can you read the Sanskrit as well?
तद्विधि प्रणिपतेन परिप्रसन्नेन सेवया उपदिश्यन्ति ते जन्म जननीयस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Yep. So this JN, if you see behind, it's given how to pronounce the Sanskrit also. This is actually Jnanam. So we in
विज्ञानम्.
Hindi we say Gyan, मेरे को ज्ञान है इसका.
Yeah.
Gyan is basically knowledge. So this JN is actually Gyan with that N with that little invocation, that
Yeah.
curve, that upset
Yeah.
that makes it Gyan. So in the if you see Bhagavad Gita in the in behind it's given like how to decipher the English Sanskrit. So, yep. Abhishek, can you read the translation as well?
This one, which one you have been
The
highlighting?
highlighted part, yeah.
Yeah. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth.
Yep,
It means
perfect.
Guru have seen the truth.
Yes. So tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasannena sevaya. So tad vidhi pranipatena. Tad means knowledge of different sacrifices. Try to understand what, how? By pranipatena, by approaching a spiritual master. And then how we approach a spiritual master, that is also given. Pariprasannena sevaya. We like Abhishek, you speak Hindi, right? You know what prashan means. मैंने इससे प्रश्न किए. I asked him questions. So
Yeah.
inquiries basically. Prashan is inquiries. So
Okay.
pariprashanena means by submissive inquiries, sevaya, by rendering service. So this is the
Very
method.
politely.
Yeah, by approaching our guru in a submissive manner, asking
Yeah.
him submissive inquiries and rendering service. These are the two qualifications we need to approach the guru. And then what does the guru give? Ubdek Shanti, which is they will initiate you into what? Jnanam, which is knowledge. And then why do they initiate? Why should we approach them? Because Jnaninas, these self-realized souls, Tattva Darshana, they know the truth. They're seers of
They
truth.
know.
They've done darshan of truth. So that is what's being said. So now the most important thing over here to understand is that it's given, Krishna is very clearly given us the approach that we need to take while approaching a guru. So first he said that you have to just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Krishna is himself saying this. Krishna is saying that you have to get the truth only by spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. So these two qualities we must have. And why? Because these self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So now can I get Shohil to read? Let's see. Till foolish pretenders. And also once you're done reading, so better you read it like attentively because I'll ask you like what did you understand from this? So read it at the same time try to understand. Like you don't need to give there's no right or wrong, but you have to give your understanding on this part. So yeah, from that to foolish pretenders.
The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of discipline, disciple succession from the Lord Himself. No one can be bona fide spiritual master without following His principles of disciple succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and the person in this disciple succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can no one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders.
Yep. So Shohil, what did you understand from this?
Um, that the Lord is originally the spiritual master, and 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 the Lord advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master.
Yep, that's very good. Abhishek, can you also expand on that a little bit? What did you understand from this part?
It means that like to start your journey, you always need to make your some like tutor.
Hmm.
Yes, for the spiritual journey, it's compulsory that you have a tutor who follows since the beginning or who knows everything
Hmm.
of the spiritual journey.
Yep.
Yep.
That's very good. Both of you give very good answers. So if we see the very first line of the purport, the path of self-realization is undoubtedly difficult. That's the most important line. Because even right now, we can practically say from our experience, if we didn't have constant knowledge and information flowing, we would be lost. We would have no way to actually know what is the correct spiritual path to take. So when we are in this path of spiritual realization, it is very difficult. There are a lot of obstacles in our way. There are a lot of doubts in our way. What is the truth? Am I doing this correctly? Is this wrong? Is this right? How should I approach it? Should I get married? Should I not do this? Should I work? Like, we have so many questions. And if we don't have a bona fide spiritual master to answer it, we undoubtedly get stuck in these obstacles. Now, the Lord Himself advises to approach a bona fide spiritual master. What does bona fide in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord Himself? So, what does a bona fide spiritual master mean? Bona fide spiritual master means that it there are basically four disciplic successions or sampradayas. So from Krishna is the knower. He's the original spiritual master. He's called Adi Guru. Krishna is called Adi Guru. He's the first spiritual master who imparts knowledge. Now, from him, there are four disciplic successions that come. We can see them even in today's time. First is Brahma Sampradaya, which we are part of. So, this Hare Krishna movement is part of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Then the second Sampradaya is the Shri Sampradaya. Shri Sampradaya is who? From Lakshmi ji, the consort of Lord Vishnu. So, that is where the second disciplic succession comes. Even we see today in South India, there are the people of Shri Sampradaya. They have their own rituals and all that, but they also worship Vishnu. So that is one different sampradaya. Then there is the Kumar sampradaya, which is the four Kumaras. Abhishek, do you know who the four Kumaras are?
No, sorry.
Shohel, would you know who the four Kumara? So, Lord Brahma, when came out from the navel of Lord Vishnu. So, Lord Vishnu, for the creation of this universe, when Lord Vishnu wanted to create the universe, he from his navel came out a lotus flower, and from that lotus flower, Lord Brahma came out. And Lord Brahma, Krishna imparted him knowledge. So Lord Brahma was like the first creation of Lord Krishna, and Krishna is transcendental. So he does not need to create an offspring through material process. He can just by his thought create a being. So he created Brahma, and then when he created Brahma, he gave him the knowledge of how to create the universe. So basically, what Krishna did was Krishna made him the deputy manager of creation. He gave him the knowledge that this is how you do it, and then Brahma was given that responsibility. So Brahma created this universe, and from Brahma came the four Kumaras, which are his offspring. Again, the four Kumaras were realized souls. They were not born in illusion. They were not, they were born only completely enlightened. So these were the four Kumaras, and at a very young age they realized that they took a vow that we will stay as young children only, so that we don't, as we grow up, we don't get absorbed by lusty desires, and we are in our perfect renunciation throughout our lifetime. So hence they chose body. So if you Google the four Kumaras, you'll see they're all small kids, but they are completely realized souls. So there are many pastimes of them. From them, basically, they're so realized and elevated that from them an entire sampradaya comes called the Kumara Sampradaya. And fourth is the Rudra Sampradaya. You know who Rudra is, right, Abhishek? Rudra is another name for which god?
I have heard this name, but not actually.
Shohel, would you know who Rudra is? Rudra is Lord Shiva. How many of
Okay.
you know
Oh
Lord
yeah,
Shiva?
yeah.
Yeah, so Lord Shiva, when
Okay.
you might have seen a very fierce form of Lord Shiva, like Natarajan is, for example,
Yeah.
when he's completely, there's fire coming out, his hairs are standing, and he's, destroying the universe. So Rudra is the fiery form of Shiva. Rudra is
Rudra
the
form.
form of
Yeah.
Shiva when
Rudra is
he's
the
angry.
form of Mahadev.
A form of Mahadev. It's basically
Yeah.
Sampradaya of Rudra. So you'll see Rudra Sampradaya, all the Shankaracharya and all that. Even in today's time, we can see them. So all major spiritual paths are coming from these four Sampradayas. Even in different countries, something we might think these are only Hindu things, but actually, if you see in even other countries, if you trace down the root, it's going to come from either of these four sampradayas. So what the ISKCON follows is Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. Who's Gaudiya? Gaudiya is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is the Sampradaya we follow. So anyways, so a guru, a bona fide spiritual master needs to be coming from a disciplic succession that can be traced back to the Lord himself. So Krishna gave knowledge to Brahma. Brahma gave knowledge to who is it? Narad Muni. Narad Muni gave it to Vyasadeva. So if you continuously trace the line, if you Google also, I'll send it on the group as well. ISKCON disciplic succession till Krishna. So we can see all the gurus are mapped out. Everybody's guru is mapped out till we reach finally Krishna. So Krishna is the source, and from there all, even in other sampradayas, in Sri Sampradaya also it comes from Krishna Lakshmi ji, from Lakshmi ji to some. So like that it passes down all sampradayas. The original source is Krishna, the Adi Guru, and from there all of them come. Now, why is he telling to approach a guru from a disciplic succession? Because Krishna is the original establisher of religion. Nobody can make up their own, religious principles. It's only Krishna who can dictate, the creator of the universe, the can dictate the rules. You can't, like, the prisoners cannot make up rules in the jail. It has to be the person, the government, who sets the rule. Similarly, Krishna. And then why does he say follow someone who's a bona fide spiritual master of disciplic succession? Because in disciplic succession, you're supposed to submissively listen to the guru, accept their word as truth, and you are not supposed to interpret it. You have to say it as it is. That's why even if you see Prabhupada, when he wrote the Bhagavad Gita, it's written Bhagavad Gita as it is. As it is means what? He's not put on his own mental speculation. We see so many other commentaries on Bhagavad Gita where they've written their own thing. Krishna is saying something, they are writing something else. I feel that this is what Krishna is saying. Nobody cares what you feel. It has to be in line with what Krishna is actually saying. So that's why Krishna is saying it has to be a disciplic succession, because Krishna gave knowledge to Brahma, like that the knowledge passed down. So your spiritual master also will give him the exact knowledge from his spiritual master, and he gave it from his so like that they are just uh, taking the message of Krishna as it is. They're not putting their interpretation. That's why it's very important for us to approach a spiritual master of disciplic succession. And again, another sentence that Prabhupada has put in the purport: no one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing their own process, as is the fashion with foolish pretenders. So this is like, even in the Gita it's directly given that how we should understand who is real guru and who's fake guru. A fake guru will start giving their own interpretations. Oh, one day I sat underneath a tree, and then all of a sudden electric current came in my body, and I came to know the truth about the universe. And they make up all these stories. There's so many people like that. One guru says that, oh, I look at the sun and the sun will stop. I've actually heard gurus even in today's time, and they're actually very popular gurus. So we should not listen to foolish pretenders. We should listen to somebody of a bona fide disciplic succession, who has some authority. Now, for example, Abhishek, you want to become a doctor. Now, if you want to become a doctor, how do you become a doctor? First, you need to join a legitimate college or doctorate college that will teach you, a medical institute. When you join the medical institute, then you will be taught by a authorized professor of the medical institute. And then only you can get a certificate, a degree, and after that only you can proceed to become a doctor. But you can't just say that, oh, I'll go to the market, I'll buy five, six medical books, I'll read it at my home, and then I'm as good as a doctor. That doesn't work. There has to be an authority. There has to be a bona fide, legitimate authority that can give you that knowledge. Similarly, in the terms of spiritual knowledge, we need to approach the college, which is what? A disciplic succession, a bona fide disciplic succession. And then we must be taught by spiritual master from that. So just like in college, we're taught by professor, in spiritual endeavors, we need to learn from a spiritual master from a disciplic succession, and then only we can learn. Now, why is it that it has to be only from a disciplic succession, and why does it say that Krishna is actually the source of everything? So, quickly, Abhishek, can you read from, let's see, yeah, till false prestige?
The Bhagavatam's the slok 6.319 says
Yeah.
dharmam tu saksad bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly initiated by the Lord.
Yep, just one
Therefore,
second.
mental.
Sorry, just one sec. So
Yep.
this line, this is what I was talking about. So you might ask that why should we take Krishna's authority? What's the proof? So if we see in this Bhagavatam verse, I'll just open it over here. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam na vai vidur rasya napi deva na siddha mukya asura manusya kuto na vidyadhara charandaya. Which means what? Krishna is saying, Abhishek, can you read this translation?
Yep. Real religious principles are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although fully situated in the mode of godness, even the great rishi, who occupy the topmost planets, cannot ascertain the real religious principles, nor can the demigods or the leader of Siddhaloka, to say nothing of the Asuras. Ordinary human being Vi- Vidyad,
Charas.
Vidyaras and
Yeah.
Saranas.
Charanas. Okay.
Charanas or Saranas?
Charanas.
Charanas.
Yeah. So basically, what is being said is that these real religious principles, the which are established, are not established, can only be established by Lord. It cannot be done by other demigods. So, Brahma cannot make up his own rules. Lord Ganesh cannot make up. So all the demigods, none of them can make up their own religious principles. It has already been established by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even demigods, even great rishis. So we might think all these great saints, great rishis, Narad Muni, all of that, even they who occupy the topmost planet. So there is Bhuloka, above them there are also heavenly planets. And these people from the heavenly planets are said to be more elevated than human beings. But even such elevated great souls cannot make up their own religious principles. Neither are leaders of Siddha Loka. Siddha Loka are what? People who have siddhis, people who are so spiritually advanced that they actually have power to uh, they can communicate through their mind, they can grow as big as they want, they can reduce to any size, they contain mystical powers, great mystics. So basically it's saying, apart from the personality of God, or apart from Krishna, nobody else can make this. So to say nothing of asuras, ordinaries, so people of such higher, greater, high level heavenly planets, if they cannot make their own religious principles, so what to say about human beings and asuras? These are the lower categories. So asura, demons, human beings. So it's saying that if great saints, demigods, rishis, they cannot make up religious principles, so why does human being think that they can make up their own religious principle? Yes, Abhishek, you can continue, then I will go on to explain. Where was it? Yeah, till false prestige. Please continue.
Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path, nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in his spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige.
Yep. So Abhishek, what did you understand from this sentence?
It means that mental cannot handle. Uh, It's
Say,
real hard to explain.
say in your own words, and there's no right or wrong. I just want to know your
If I'm gonna say it in my word, it will be Hindi.
like in your understanding, not in like your.
Yeah. Uh,
There's no right and wrong, just whatever you could
yeah.
understand, you can say. Okay, while you're thinking, Shohel, can you tell me what you understood from this?
Um, First, we can say that the Lord is the directly made religion. This is part of religion.
Mhm.
The part of religion, and mental speculations and just any other word that's not the Lord words
Mhm.
cannot lead to the right path. Only the Lord's words can lead to the right path.
Correct. That's good. Yep.
And one has to approach a bona fide spiritual master and fully surrender.
Yep. That's good.
Mm.
Abhishek, what about you?
If you want to learn something,
Hmm.
you need to be fully in your guru's charan.
Yep.
It means that. And if yeah, and for that, if you have to pay anything, just pay him,
But why? Why do you have to be in your guru's channel?
because he knows everything.
Why does
He
he
is
know
much
everything?
more, because he is your guru.
But okay,
Obviously,
okay, he's my guru, but why does he know everything? What is the
because
proof?
he the journey which you have started, he already ended that journey
Yeah,
at a
but then
certain
there are
point.
so many as like that. Anybody who's slightly elder to me at age has should be my guru.
It's not
Why
only
why
about,
why is it only said a spiritual master? What is the qualification of spiritual master?
he might have studied all the book,
No.
all the granths, all the
But if you
upniyans.
see over here, one sec, I'll say, nor by the nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. So like that, even when my guru was reading it, how can I say that he's spiritual? In the Gita, it's clearly given that by studying books independently, one cannot progress. So what makes my guru Charan the only way? Okay. So
That's real hard to be honest.
it's fine, it's fine. See, I just wanted to see the understand. So if you see disciplic succession again, so Guru is like, have you heard, you know Tota, right? Tota,
Yeah,
parrot.
yeah,
What does a parrot do? You will tell the parrot, good morning, good morning. The parrot will repeat, good morning, good
yeah.
morning. It will not
He will
make up
learn
its own.
same
It will
thing.
not say good evening. Parrot
No,
will say it as it is. Similarly, Guru is basically saying the word of Guru is the word of Krishna. He's not putting up his own interpretation. He's seeing knowledge as it is because he's done the same thing with his spiritual master. He's taken the knowledge from his spiritual master and he's giving it to you. So, like right now, also, Prabhupada gave knowledge and Prabhupada passed it to so many spiritual masters. Even ISKCON in our Sampradaya, we see there's Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Loknath Swami Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj. All of them are basically repeating Prabhupada's words only. Okay, they're not putting up their own philosophy. And it's again given, nobody can, mental speculation and dry arguments cannot help on the right path, and nor can the study of independent books in spiritual life. So there are so many people, I don't want to name any, but there are very, very popular people on YouTube also who just simply they say, oh, I have read all the books, I've read Chinese philosophy also, I've read Gita also, I've read Upanishads, I've read Vedas, hence I'm a very great spiritual master. They even call themselves, acharyas and all that, and they start giving up their own interpretations. But that is completely wrong. They have no qualification. It's like, again, like a student goes to he doesn't go to engineering college. He says, I'll buy the books, I'll read it, and I'm a great engineer. That's not the way. You need to have an authority. So if just by your own mental speculation, you cannot do that, and neither can making up your own mental speculation. Now you may ask that why is it wrong that I cannot make these questions? It is very normal of me to ask the make my own interpretations of Bhagavad Gita, of religion. Why can I not decide what is religion or not? Why do I have to listen to somebody who's you are saying that is saying the words of Krishna? This is a very common question people have. So what is the proof? And the proof is in Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 1 verse canto 1 verse 1, chapter 1 verse 10. So Shohel, can you read this?
O learnt one, in this iron age of Kali men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed.
Yep. So if you see,
Mhm.
Ayu means age. Alpa means less. So first they are Alpa Ayusha, which means that the Pranena Alpa Ayusha. They have very short age. They have very Alpa Ayush, which means they have very short age. Then what is it said? In this age of quarrel, the public, Yuge Jana, are what? Lazy, Manda, lazy. And Sumanda Matya, misguided. And what? Manda Bhagya. You know what Bhagya means, Abhishek? Bhagya, they'll say in Hindi, Mera
Destiny.
Bhagya kharab hai, destiny. So they are
Destiny.
always unlucky. And what? Upadrita, they are always disturbed. So in this age of Kali Yuga, men have short lives, they're quarrelsome, they're lazy, they're misguided, unlucky, and always disturbed. This goes to say that in this age, current age, our senses are not perfect. So just because we think that we are seeing it correct is not the truth. Like in our eyes, we think that, like for example, there's a very common saying: the frog, if he's put in the well, he'll think that the entire universe is in that well only. But
Yeah.
if you tell that frog that, if you come out of this well, there's a whole world outside. There are grass, there are trees. He'll not believe you. He'll say that's nonsense. I've been staying in this well my entire life. I know that this is the entire universe, but that is not true. Similarly, with our senses, whatever we see, we think that is religion. We cannot even see beyond the sky. We don't know that there are planets, there are Jupiter, Saturn, Mars. We cannot even see it with our own eyes. We can see limited. Tomorrow, if I put tall skyscraper in front of you and you cannot see the sun, what does that mean? The sun does not exist. That's not true. The sun exists. It's just that you cannot perceive it because your senses are not that perfect. And this is a clear example. In age of Kali Yuga, their short memory, the gray matter in our brain is not completely developed as compared to before. In general, humans are not as evolved as we want to believe. Like example, a dog, when a dog is tied to a leash and somebody walks by, the dog is barking at him, "Wow, wow, 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 wow," and the guy is just carrying on with his day. He just walks past the dog, but the dog now thinks that, he falsely thinks that, oh, I scared him, look at how powerful I am, just by my barking everybody's running away, without even realizing that he's actually on a leash. He has no control, he's being controlled by his master, but the dog is thinking that I'm in control. Similarly, foolish humans think that they are in control, even though they not realize that their life is dependent on the Lord in every way possible. If one natural calamity, you and your entire clan will be wiped out. So we foolishly think that we are the knowers of everything. So that's why we'll see a lot of these scientists will start saying that, oh, actually consciousness is nothing but creation of matter. Some matter, they formed some chemical reaction and now human beings are alive. Or they'll say that there is no god, everything is actually gravitational force created some movement, some mass collided with each other, and then this world is created, and it's perfectly maintained just by coincidence. Nothing happens by coincidence. The earth is actually in such a position right now. If it was even little bit here and there, human beings could not have existed. It's at the perfect latitude, longitude, perfect position in the universal geometry. So everything is doing perfect. The air, the wind, the ocean, the plant, the sun, everything is working in a perfect system. So it's completely foolish to deny that there cannot be a control. There has to be a controller. But foolish scientists, they just by mental speculation, they think that, okay, this, we cannot see beyond this, this has to be the truth, which is not true. There are some things which you cannot perceive, but you cannot reject it. Dry philosophers, you'll see a lot of philosophers or poets, they'll say that, oh, actually god is a made up imagination creation that people have done to give themselves hope. In Hindi we say tasalli dena. Why? Because in old times maybe there were famines, all that, and how would people cope with these calamities? They created this imaginary figure called god, and they used to say that, don't worry, god is there, god will protect us, or god wants this. So god is just a thing. They actually agree. This imagination that they've created is very good, it's a good thing, because it's helping. It's such a beautiful thing, but it's actually not true. It's just for, they give up their own interpretations because they don't have the vision to see it. Just because you're unable to understand something, that does not mean it's not true. Like, just because you don't know, supposing you never took maths in your life, you don't know what calculus, algebra is, so you cannot just say that, oh, I cannot understand it, so it does not exist, it's false, it's made up. You cannot say that. If you put in front of a professor, you will actually learn. The only way to actually learn something you don't know is by approaching somebody who already has that knowledge. So that is the thing. So this foolish mental speculation doesn't work, nor does reading books. A lot of people think I will read this, that, that, and I'll know everything about religion. That does not work. You need to approach a spiritual master. Now, how do you approach a spiritual master? That is also given. Oh, before that, I'll just quickly add one more point. In today's time, especially in like modern day society, every knowledge is basically a survey. If you see anything on Google, the result that you're getting, it's not that it's act how do you know that it's true or not? You should actually question that. How does Google know what is true or not? They're making these results based on survey. So Google will put a question up to some users. It will say that what do you think, your understanding of God is? What do you think is should be the right thing to do after you get into an accident? They'll put up their own questions. What is the treatment for this disease? They'll put it up, and people will click on some options, and the majority that selects the answer, that becomes the correct answer as per surveys. So most of the information today is survey based. They ask 10 people, what would you prefer, this, and then they'll put it up as a fact that 10 people who use social media are going through like, I'm just giving example, but most of this is a survey. Like for example, one survey that I saw recently in America, it was very popular, where they had asked a survey that what are your chances of going to heaven. They put up a question like that, and inspired, like most of the people who were answering them were full of vices. They were doing some sort of sin or the other, yet a large majority of them said that my chances of going to heaven are actually excellent, brilliant, I'll definitely go to heaven. you know and then the second question they were asked is, what in your interpretation would hell be like? So they said that hell is a place, like this was asked to an American audience. Said, in a nice weekend, I like to sit, watch basketball and drink some beverage and eat food. In hell, I don't think all this facility will be there. It will be a very uncomfortable facility. That was their interpretation of hell. What will the survey do? It will see, out of 100 people, 50 people have said that in hell there will not be any baseball, and also that it will put that up as the correct answer. And actually, this is what they think, but this is actually very foolish. You cannot go by just because of majority is saying one thing does not make it true. And especially people who are like, this material world is a prison house for souls that are rebellious towards God. That is why we are existing right now. We were rebellious at some point in our life towards God. We wanted to be the enjoyer independent of God. We were jealous of God. We didn't like God as the creator, so we wanted our own thing. So God gave us this false illusion of us being the creator. So that's why we are so proud of our false creations. Oh, my business, my family, my children, my house. We want to be the controller, not realizing that we are actually not in control at all. We are completely dependent on God, but that we don't realize. So it's like a prison house. Now, if you go to a prison house, Shohel, and you ask the prisoners, oh, what do you think the government should be like? What do you think? Whatever the prisoners will say, that will be right. They'll say a government should be like a person who doesn't put us in jail. That will be their answer. So it's very foolish to go and just by mental speculation think that my mental speculation is actually fact. That is not true. That is It's like a good analogy that Prabhupada had given. If you have seen husk, if you see corn has a lot of husk around it. And if you want to take out corn, first you need to beat the husk till the time the husks are shedding off, and then finally you get the actual corn. But mental speculation on religion is like taking the dry husk. You've already The corn is out of the husk. It's just the dry husk, and you're just beating the husk. Just continuously beating the husk, expecting some result or the other. That's foolishness. It's just waste of time, and that is what's going on currently. Now, how is the actual? It has to be a legitimate source of authority, and that legitimate source of authority Krishna has given has to be a spiritual master in disciplic succession from the Lord himself. The only, like for example, in if you want to know what's the law in New South Wales, the law of New South Wales has to be something that's been approved by the government of Australia. Government of Australia will pass down the law to each state, and then each state will pass it down to its citizens. So just like that. So New South Wales law, you and me cannot get up and say, I decide that in New South Wales, in Sydney, people should drive on the right side instead of the left. My Just because I think it and I'm able to speculate it, that's true. That's not true. You have to go by an authority. So that is what Krishna is saying, that we don't make up our own mental speculation or say that, oh, I've read many law books, I'm a very good lawyer, so whatever I'm able to think that from Sydney tomorrow we should all drive on the right side. That does not become law. It has to be from a bona fide source of authority, which is Krishna, and the source like, is passed down as disciplic succession from Krishna. Now, how do we approach somebody who's from this bona fide spiritual master? So, Shohel, can you read from where did we stop? I think spiritual
From
life
one,
only. Yeah. So, can you read from one to, yep. Or actually, let's see if we can cover a little more. Okay, this will just reach to the end. Okay, just do till effective.
So what again? One to effective.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll just highlight.
Uh,
Okay, you know what? Actually, no, no, no. Yeah, do till effective. One has to approach
okay.
bona fide, two will not be effective.
One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a middle servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master would not be effective.
Yep. Very good. So it's given the exact process. One should approach a spiritual master to receive knowledge. That's the first direction that we're given. Who do we go for getting knowledge? That is spiritual master. Now, spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Now, what does this mean? Even if we go above, it said, Upadesh Shanti Te Jnanam. Sorry, pare prashannena prasanna, how do we ask them how do we ask them questions by in
politely and
submissive, yeah,
with,
politely. So what
yeah,
does that mean is, tomorrow if there is a spiritual master, you don't go with him to just prove him wrong. Oh, you are seeing in a competitive challenge or in a challenging approach that, oh, you're saying this, I don't believe this, how dare you say this. Oh, you just basically trying to prove them wrong in something, trying to put allegations, trying to falsify them. If they are a legitimate bona fide spiritual master, you should go with surrenderance. You should be having that surrender. Okay, this guy is from he's a bona fide spiritual master coming from a disciplic succession, so we should accept them in full surrender. And then we need to serve the master as a like a menial servant. How do we see a menial servant? When the master says that, oh, can you do this? He doesn't sit and argue, oh, why should I do this? Why do you want me to do this? What should I do? This is wrong. This is this. They just accept, yes, and they do it without false prestige. They don't have any ego. In front of your spiritual master, in front of your guru, you should have zero ego. You should be completely false or devoid of false prestige. And you should approach your master as your servant, because your master, his words are as good as the words of God. So you should treat your master as God. And spiritual master is giving you might ask, why should I treat some other person as a sir, like he's my master and I'm a servant? What is wrong? It's more to realize with the person, like your father. If you might say that, why should I listen to my father and all, but you don't know that your father has your best interest in mind. Your father is never trying to put you in the wrong direction. Even if he says that, oh, Shohel, you should study, why are you not studying? Or Shohel, you should come back early at night, or something like that, they say. Why are they saying that? It's not to demean you. It's because they know what is right. They have more knowledge than you, and they know what is right and wrong. So they'll say study because they know the value of studying. They will say not come back by night because they may say that, okay, it's unsafe at this time. I've seen a lot of crime activities happening. They have that knowledge and experience which you don't. So hence we should accept them in full surrender. If we approach them with in a false egoistic way, that, oh, who are you to tell me, I will not believe, then we'll never make any spiritual progress. If we genuinely want to make spiritual progress, the key is surrenderance to the spiritual master. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Here you have it. It's the secret that's given to us. How do we advance, make steady advancement in spiritual life? By satisfaction of the spiritual master. When the spiritual master is pleased by our actions, only then can we make any progress. And inquiries and submissions constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. So not only submission, it's not like you just go in front of any spiritual master and you say, oh, I fall at your feet, you are everything, I'm your word is that. You should have that approach, but also along with that you should have inquiries. You should not just go blindly. So over here, if you see, it's given that both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. So you should not just absurd inquiry means not go with some false ego. Oh, I know better than you. Who are you to tell me? That's no. You should go with respect. Okay, this is somebody senior to me. This is somebody with more knowledge. This is from a disciplic succession. We should go with our hands folded, with a mood of surrender. And then we should also make inquiries. If we have questions, we need to continuously ask. We need to get all our questions answered by our guru, our spiritual master. Hence we should make inquiries, very strong inquiries. Only then, with that balance of the two, with surrenderance as well as inquiries, we actually get the correct method of approaching a spiritual master. Not that we blindly approach, or neither do we just completely blindly deny. It has to be balance. It needs to be surrenderance and inquiries, and we also lend service to the spiritual master. Best example of this is Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada. So when he was a young man, around the age 20, in his mid 20s, he was not Srila Prabhupada was his initiated spiritual name given by his guru. But before that, he was known as Abhay Charan De. So Abhay Charan De was a pharmacist in Calcutta, and he was a young man and this was 1920s. So the India was still under British rule. So during that time, people were, very like they were. British knowledge was said to be supreme. Whatever the British English said, that was supposed to be correct. And that was the time when British were trying to tell people that, these saints and sadhus, they're all cheaters, they're all making fool of you. It's actually our knowledge is supreme and don't believe them and all that. And they used to try to instill that. So Prabhupada, like he was going to university, all of that, and he had a lot of questions. So one day he was with his friend, and his friend said, there's this sadhu sannyasi who has come over here, we should definitely pay him a visit and ask him a question. So Prabhupada said that, oh, I don't believe the sannyasis, all of them are like, they simply want to beg money, and India was under British rule. So he said that if they are so knowledgeable, why isn't India free from these Britishers? Why are they simply living like beggars? So he was completely rejecting an idea, but the friend kept on persisting that no, please come listen to him. It will be very good. We'll learn a lot. This that. So finally, after a lot of persuaders from his friend, Prabhupada reluctantly went. He said, "Okay, okay, fine, we'll see." So now Prabhupada was, Abhay Charan De, were from a very young age. His father also was a Vaishnava, somebody who followed the Vaishnav tradition. So he had taught him since childhood that whenever you approach a spiritual master, especially a Vaishnav spiritual master, you fall flat on the ground, offer them your prostrate obeisances, called Dandvat Pranam. You offer them your pranam. So he offered both of them when they saw who was the spiritual master, the sannyasi they saw, that was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So when he had come, they offered their respects. When they were getting up, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked both of them that you both are learned, educated people. Why don't you preach the knowledge of Gita to everybody? So Prabhupada actually first he was in a submissive mood. How was he in a submissive mood? He respected the fact that he was a bona fide spiritual master. He offered him his prostrate obeisances, Dandvat Pranam. So he was in that mood of surrender. It was not like he went in a competitive spirit. At the same time, he also put forward his inquiries. So he said that there are so many issues going on right now that how will people believe this Bhagavad Gita? Why do you think this Bhagavad Gita will be heard by people? Even in India, people are not listening to this Bhagavad Gita. What is so important in this Bhagavad Gita that there's so many? He started listing a whole bunch of problems. This is their economic situation, this, that. So he said, how will this Bhagavad Gita solve that issue? And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he just smiled and he said, the only problem in the world is lack of Krishna consciousness. The only problem in the world is lack of God consciousness. People have forgotten God. If we think every problem, any war, any disruption, any, environmental problem, all of that is basically created because people have become devoid of God. They believe that there are no consequences to their actions. Earlier times, people knew, always kept God in mind. That's why they used to never litter, they used to never harm other living beings, they used to not try to be corrupt and all, because they knew God was watching. But now, right now, people have forgotten that, and now that is the source of all that. So if, like, supposing you clean the road, there's a person who likes to litter the road. Even if you come and pick up the trash every day, the next day he'll go and do the same thing. Only when you clean the trash from his heart will actually there will be any change. So till the time you don't cleanse people's heart, the this thing will keep on going on. The problems in the world will keep on going on. Throughout history, we see, if we go 600 years ago, 700 years ago, the main issue has been lack of spiritual knowledge or lack of Krishna consciousness, God consciousness. So and Prabhupada used to say that my Guru Maharaj used to give such powerful and strong arguments that I had no argument in front of him. He finally surrendered. So he made his inquiries and then he also surrendered. And then Prabhupada used to please his spiritual master. How will he do it? So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to take them around Govardhan Hill Parikrama, which is in Vrindavan. And while doing that, he used to give a lot of lectures. So that's a lot of thing, a very common thing that spiritual masters do. They'll take them in a holy land like Vrindavan, and while walking over there, they'll give them a lot of spiritual knowledge. They'll and while these lectures, it was only Abhay Charan Dev or Prabhupada who used to sit throughout the lecture and listen very attentively. He was a very good attentive listener. And then what happens? This is what's being said in the next line, that must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master. And only when the spiritual master sees genuine desire of the disciple, he blesses the disciple with general spiritual understanding. So, till the time the spiritual master is not pleased by the disciple, there is no way of progressing in spiritual life. There's no way of having any spiritual understanding. The guru will first test you, he will test your knowledge. Only then, if he sees that, okay, this person is actually genuinely trying to learn, only then he'll give you that spiritual knowledge. If we see, there are so many instances. There was one past time where Bhakti Siddhanta, so Prabhupada's guru, when he was actually looking for a spiritual master, his father was Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was a very famous. So if we see in ISKCON temple, you'll see the Guru Parampara. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur was actually the father of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was initiating Guru. He was a very great spiritual master. He actually propagated this idea of Krishna consciousness to the entire world. It was his plan that he wanted to pass the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and Bhagavad Gita to the entire world. So he was very capable of initiating his son. But he had told his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that he go and get initiated from Gaur Kishordas Babaji, who was a very great saint. He said, you must do that. I won't give you Diksha, you have to get Diksha from him. He in fact said, if you are unable to get Diksha from him, don't come, because without spiritual master, this life is useless, it's worthless. So he went to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, and when he approached him, he rejected. He said, no, no, come back later. Like that, every time he used to go and approach, he said, no, I cannot give initiation, sorry, this, that. He makes some excuse or the other. Like that, 17 times he was rejected. Finally, he was actually about to end his life, Bhaktisiddhanta, because his father had told him that without a spiritual master, your life is as good as useless. So you can, so he was about to jump into the water and end his life. And just when he was doing it, Krishna sent the his guru Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, who was walking past, and he stopped him. And then finally, after his plea, he accepted and he gave him initiation. So basically, guru, the spiritual master, was testing the disciple. He was saying how much the genuine desire does he actually have, and when he has that, only when the spiritual master is pleased with your service to him, only then will he give you genuine spiritual understanding. So in this verse, both blind following and observed inquiries are condemned. So far, did you both understand? Were you able to understand what's being said? So Shohil, how do we genuinely progress in spiritual life? What must be done for us to progress in spiritual life?
You can't you can't progress simply just by reading books. You must go to a qualified bona fide spiritual master and fully surrender to yourself, surrender to that bona fide spiritual master
Yep.
and learn his teachings and learn his words only.
Yep. Abhishek, along with surrendering to the spiritual master, what's the other thing that we must do so that we are not blindly following him?
First of all, we have to understand that whether he is a bona fide spiritual master or not.
Yeah.
And then if he is, then yes, we have to please him in every aspect so that we can
Mm,
also get the pure knowledge from
Yep.
him.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
One thing that I think you left out is we should also make inquiries. That's also given that we must make inquiries, submissive inquiries. So if we want to learn the truth, the absolute truth, we have a lot of questions. We need to make those questions. It's not like once we have accepted a spiritual master, we have to continuously ask questions. We need to make inquiries. Only when our questions are answered will we actually be able to make progress, and then the actual feeling of surrenderance will come. Otherwise it will be blind following. Well, and so many gurus, we'll see false gurus, they actually cheat. Like for example, there was this Mahakumbh Mela which happened recently, and in that there were a lot of genuine sadhus also, and there were a lot of fake Babajis or gurus. And what they would do is they said, "Oh, I will initiate you, I will initiate you." So one actress actually got initiated by some Babaji into sannyas, directly sannyas. Sannyas comes after 40 years. You please your master, and then he says, "Okay, you are eligible for sannyas." But this guy, this false guru, he directly gave them initiation to sannyas. And what they were actually doing, now this person was blindly following that Babaji. So he said, smuggle drugs for me. He got them to smuggle drugs. That lady was caught in the airport and arrested. So that's what's going on. If we blindly follow, we should first make inquiries. We should use our intelligence, and with our intelligence, we should go. But intelligence at the same time does not mean that we blindly argue or we try to be falsely pride. We use our intelligence, but also in a mode of surrenderance. We don't just go in an argumentative state. We put our questions forward, but in a mode of submissive manner, that please, your guru is equal to God, answer that. And once we accept a guru, once the guru has accepted us, then we must do everything in our capacity to serve him. Like Prabhupada, he was told by his guru when he was 20, some mid 20s, that you must preach the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Bhagavatam to the entire world. It should not be only restricted to India. And Prabhupada had to fulfill that knowledge. He was 70 years old when he had gone to America. He had no connection, no money, no nothing. He just landed up over there. Even and he had like heart attacks in the ship. And he had no support at all. Everything he did from scratch. He went to New York and a place called Bowery Street, which is full of drug addicts and drunk people. He was actually once chased also by one of the drug addicts. He had only 40 rupees, not even dollars, 40 rupees in his with him. And he had some books, a set of books, and his typewriter, his manuscript typewriter, all of that. So he was constantly, attacked, and he had to go through a lot of difficulty in cold weathers. He was from West Bengal, which was had warm weather. All of a sudden, he went to New York, which had minus degrees weather. He was 70-year-old man. He was barely, but just because his guru did it, he blindly followed his guru. Not blindly, he in full surrenderance, because he knew the words of his guru is true. And just by following, his Guru Maharaj said, if you have any money, print books and distribute. And that's what he did. He was giving out Bhagavad Gita, he was chanting Hare Krishna, and slowly, within just few years, from literally zero, he made 108 temples all over America. Even today, we see the Hare Krishna movement is so prominent, it's so popular. There's so many millions and millions of followers. And this all started because why the disciple in surrenderance tried to serve his spiritual master. Only when your spiritual master is pleased, only then is that, because spiritual master is actually Krishna. They say Krishna, whatever we desire, we get. If we genuinely desire a spiritual master, Krishna will make arrangements that our spiritual master will automatically, like, we'll find the correct spiritual master. That responsibility. So they say that Krishna gives us Guru and Guru gives us Krishna. So Krishna will make arrangements to find spiritual master, and then spiritual master will give you knowledge and the practices and methods through which we can eventually attain Krishna at the end of this life and go back home, go back to Godhead. So that's the process that's been given. And you see, even Krishna focuses on this fact. Krishna is Adi Guru. Even he focuses that it's important to a spiritual master. Every incarnation of Krishna had a spiritual master. When he came as Lord Ram had his guru Vishwamitra. And Lord Ram, Lord Lakshman actually were disciples of Vishwamitra. He initiated them, he took them all over the forest, he gave them knowledge. So they, even though Lord Ram had no need to actually learn because he was God himself, but still, just to show the general society, the general public, and the people who would be following the story, they would just to make them understand the importance of spiritual master. Even Krishna himself, everybody since childhood knew that Krishna was the supreme God. He was picking up the hill in his pinky finger, and he was, defeating such great asuras. Everybody knew he was the supreme personality of Godhead. Yet Krishna, to show the importance of Guru, he took uh, initiation under Sandipani, and he actually was in his ashram, and he would offer service to Sandipani Muni. And even when he came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also he was under his Guru Ishwarapuri. So we see Krishna himself is emphasizing the fact that we have to approach the spiritual master. Without a spiritual master, one cannot attain absolute truth. That is very clearly given. And how do we approach them? In a submissive manner, ready to always serve the guru, make inquiries, genuine inquiries, and also once they have accepted us as their disciple, we must offer render service. And only when we are serving our guru is there actually any scope for us to make progress in our spiritual life. If we think that by reading books and by thinking big philosophies and making up our own concoctions, we will be very advanced people, best of luck. You will not progress anywhere. One very good analogy I was reading, like we are in this ocean of ignorance. This material world is an ocean of ignorance, ocean of darkness. And to get out of this ocean of ignorance, we need to, the guru comes in the form of a boat, and only a boat or a good ship can take us out of this ocean of ignorance to land. Otherwise, we'll be just stuck in this ignorance. So similarly, the guru, that's why if we see the introduction prayer that I said, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmitilam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama. What does this mean? Let's go and just read this prayer again. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmitilam Yena Tasmai Shri. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. This is very important. Even Bhagavad Gita started by acknowledging the Guru. Prabhupada himself used to say, people used to praise Prabhupada that, oh, you have done such wonderful things. You've given the entire world Hare Krishna mantra. You've written so many books and philosophy. Whole world is now following this philosophy. He said that I'm simply following the instructions of my Guru Maharaj. All this is by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj. So if you want to make any progress at all, it has to be through service of the Guru Maharaj. So that was all for today. We'll end the class given the time. Another thing is now, since we have understood the importance of spiritual master, I'll also explain the two types of spiritual master. There is Shiksha Guru and then there is Diksha Guru. So Shiksha Guru is somebody who you can learn from. So for like Ghanshyam Prabhu is our Shiksha Guru. He gives us knowledge. If you watch on YouTube some gurus who's you're genuinely learning from them, they become your Shiksha Guru. But Shiksha Guru is somebody who you take knowledge from, who you accept as your teacher and you accept to take knowledge from. But Diksha Guru is one who initiates you. So what a Diksha Guru does is, Diksha Guru, we are carrying a huge baggage of karma with us. And because of that karma, we are getting different sinful reactions or reactions basically. And we are born again and again because of this baggage of karma that we carry. So what a Diksha Guru does is, if he accepts us as our disciple, he takes away all our karma. When he gives you Diksha, he's basically taking all your karma and taking all responsibility for you. He's basically like your spiritual father. He's taking up all responsibility. And he makes sure his entire goal is to take you back to Krishna. Okay, so bona fide spiritual master is by nature a very kind towards the disciple. It's given over here. By nature, very kind to the disciple. Why? Because the spiritual master doesn't have any selfish desires, nor is he looking to have a large group of followers. He's simply doing it for service of Krishna, because that is one quality of spirit. He must be a great devotee of the of Lord. Only then he can be a guru. It's not like somebody who sat under a tree and got enlightened. That doesn't work. So he must be a very great. And what a Diksha Guru does is he takes away all your karma. And once he does that, then he will impart on you spiritual knowledge. When we do service onto him, we make spiritual progress. Everything, every action we do is for pleasure of our Guru. Only with that approach, we can make progress. And finally, he takes away all our karma, and we are eventually able to attain Krishna. So that is a Diksha Guru. So if you are interested in, now or in the future looking for Diksha Guru, I will send a list. There are a lot in our, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, who are disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who are currently giving Diksha. So it's very important. Krishna is himself saying that to attain Krishna, we must approach a guru. Without a spiritual master, we cannot approach Krishna. So I'll send a list. You guys can have a look at their lectures, videos. Whenever, like, take your time, don't rush into it. But Krishna will automatically make, if you genuinely desire to attain Krishna and genuinely want to approach Krishna, Krishna will make arrangements. You will know who's your right guru. So that's there. And another important announcement now, since we have understood the importance of guru, and how spiritual master can give us such great knowledge, we have His Holiness Devamrit Swami Maharaj coming on Friday, this Friday, coming Friday. I mean, Abhishek, you're not physically there, but Shohail, I think you were last time there as well for his for Devamrit Swami Maharaj. So yeah, please try to come.
Yeah.
I think people will be watching this on YouTube also. If you can come, please try to come.
If I would
Um,
be in Sydney, then I would really come over there. Like,
yeah,
I would
I
be
know.
more
I
than
want.
happy to be
I
there.
thought I'll tell you, but then I realized, yeah, you are not. But in case in
So
future you ever get any
at
opportunity, you should
least,
go.
at least you remember me. Okay, I was the part of something.
Why will I not remember you, Prabhu? So yeah, it's very important. He's a direct disciple
So,
of Srila Prabhupada, and he has got profound wisdom, and he is specifically targets youth, people who are our age, and he gives it in a language that's easily understandable by modern generation people. So definitely try to come. It's very important. I personally seen how much spiritual progress I made when I attended his lectures. He's got profound
Mm.
knowledge. So yep, that's it. I hope the one second, let me just end the recording.